Your egg carton chalet will deliver in a large wooden crate. Remove small components and organize your hardware on a clean work surface. Lay out the end panels and the rear panel of the chalet with the tops towards the outside. Fasten the rear panel to the right and left end panels using 3/8 by 1 inch bolts. For now, only finger tighten. Using the same process, fasten the front panel to the end panels. Carefully aligning the corners of the chalet, firmly tighten the 8 bolts holding the frame together. Lower the floor into the frame, tipping the front side down as you lower it. The floor should rest on the aluminum tabs with the ramp opening toward the rear left. Cut the plastic zip tie holding up the ramp and lower it. Next, install the T-handle latch on the outside of the doors using a Phillips screwdriver and the screws provided. Turn the T-handle to the vertical position and install the catch horizontally so the short side of the D handle overlaps with the center doorstop. Tighten the set screw using a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Slide the front lift frame under the left end of the chalet and fasten it to the main frame using 2 3/8 by 1 inch bolts. Be sure to insert the bolts from the inside and secure the nut on the outside to leave room for the weather skirting. Tighten the bolts securely. Fasten the rear axle using 2 U-shaped brackets and 4 3/8 by 1 inch bolts. Again, insert the bolts from the inside to leave room for skirting. Install the lift cable on the rear wheel assembly using 5/16 by 1 1/2 inch carriage bolts and lock nuts. Use a pliers or vice grip to hold the head of the carriage bolt while tightening the lock nut. Install the other end of the lift cables on the levers of the front lift frame using 5/16 by 3/4 inch carriage bolts and lock nuts. Slide the handle and front axle assembly over the kingpin in the center of the front lift assembly. Slide 2 wheels onto the front axle and use a rubber mallet to secure the axle caps. Repeat this process on the rear axles. Install the lift cylinder by pushing down on the lift handle until the bolt lines up with the free end of the cylinder. Slide the cylinder onto the bolt and loosely secure it with a 5/16 lock nut. Place the nest box against the back wall centered in front of the egg collection door. The protruding screws on the bottom of the nest box fit into the floor to hold it in place. Using the provided C-clamp, securely fasten the temporary roof support on top of the front frame, centered above the doorpost. Install the left roof section, the one with 2 ceiling hooks, allowing the front to rest on the temporary roof support. Repeat this process with the right roof section. After centering the roof sections between the front and back panels, fasten the roof from the outside at all 4 corners using 2-inch screws and a screw gun or nut driver. Carefully line up the wooden corners of the roof sections. Then install the gable panel without the window on the back side. The panel should fit comfortably under the wooden spacers at the peak. Use white 1 1/2 inch screws and fasten the gable through the pre-drilled holes along the top slope. Go slowly to avoid over-tightening these screws. Next, install one of the black aluminum gussets using 4 black 1 1/2 inch screws. To fasten the bottom of the gable panel, begin by drilling a 5/32 inch hole through the aluminum tabs on the frame using the pre-drilled holes in the panel as your guide. Using a 1/4 inch nut driver, secure the bottom of the panel with white 1-inch screws by hand. Do not use an electric screw gun for these screws as they are very easy to over-tighten. Remove the temporary roof support and install the roost, resting on the tabs on the top of the front and back frame. Install the 3 ceiling hooks in the designated pre-drilled holes, 2 in the left roof section and 1 in the right. Hang the chains and hooks from the 2 upper ceiling hooks. These will hold your feeder and waterer. Repeat the gable installation process on the front, using the gable with the window and flower box. Install the front right gable trim by inserting 2 black 1/4 by 3/4 inch carriage bolts into the slots in the trim and roof pieces. Secure the bolts and nuts gently, loose enough to move for positioning. Repeat this procedure for the left-hand trim. Now align the 2 trim pieces at the peak and tighten the flange nuts on all 4 bolts. Repeat this process for the rear trims. Using a 1/4 inch driver and the 1-inch black screws, install the bottom angled trim pieces by screwing through the holes into the rib of the metal roof. Using a 1/4 inch driver and the 1-inch black screws, install the peak trim piece by screwing through the holes into the rib of the metal roof. Lean the ladder against the back wall of the chalet, directly under the roost. Hang the feeder and water buckets from the chain and hook, and adjust the height as desired. To install the weather skirting, place the panels against the wire sides and secure with the retaining rods. On the end panels, install the short piece of skirting on the bottom with the aluminum strip towards the back and the taller piece on top. Your egg carton chalet is now ready for use. To raise the chalet for moving, push down on the lift handle until it nearly touches the ground, then move the handle to the side to allow the latch to drop into place. To lower, turn the wheels straight forward with the handle directly under the latch pin. Press the handle down until the latch pops up, then carefully raise the handle to lower the chalet to the ground.